Grandstand. ABC Grandstand. On radio, online, and on digital radio.
This is ABC Grandstand's Motor Racing Show. All Talk with Scott Rollinson on ABC Grandstand Digital and online.
Hello and welcome to All Talk for another week. This week we wrap up the International Rally of Queensland. Another win for Chris Atkinson in the Asia Pacific side of things. All the details to come on that particular meet. Plus Will Hagan a bit later with the details from Mark Webber's Monaco GP win. And how the Penske boys went at Indianapolis as well. We'll have the details a bit later. Plus, David Reynolds from Ford Performance Racing and the V8 Supercars drops by a little later as well. But first, I need to welcome my co-host this week, a man who needs no introduction in drag racing circles, but I'll give him one anyway. Multiple top doorslammer champion, one of the absolute legends of the sport in Australia. Victor Bray is in the hot seat this week. G'day, Victor.
How you going, Scotty?
Very well, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, good, mate. Glad to be here.
How's things looking? Winter Nationals coming up. The weather hasn't been a great lead-in.
No, it hasn't. It's been raining, which has really cut back our testing an awful lot. And, coming into a big event like that, which is the Winter Nationals is actually the biggest drag race event outside the USA. And, coming into a weekend like that when the competition and all the championships are on the line, we all love to test a little bit, but we missed out. Talk us through
what a test would involve. For those that see you on race day mightn't understand what would go in with a team like yourself before you get to race day at Winter Nats. What would actually be happening testing side of things? And I suppose when you say it's raining, what conditions do you need to actually be able to roll the car out on the track?
We don't care what the conditions are as long as it's not wet.
Yeah.
We rely heavily on the traction, obviously, to getting down the racetrack. And that's why we actually test, because we go to the races, and every time we go to the races, the racetrack conditions are a little bit different, the atmospheric conditions are a little bit different, and we rely on the oxygen in the air to make the horsepower in the motor. So we have meteorological centres on the top of our trailers. Each team has one. We monitor the air. We work out how much oxygen there is per cubic metre of air and work out how much the engine's going to use on that run, and we put the appropriate amount of fuel with it to make the maximum amount of power. Now, when there's more oxygen in the air, we can put more fuel with it, and therefore we make more horsepower. So the weather is very, very important. And at this time of the year out at Willowbank, out in Ipswich, there near Ambley, the conditions can be absolutely perfect. But it is always cold and on the verge of rain with the high pressure areas coming over. That's what makes the place. That's where all the records are run and makes the place the best time of the year and the best track in the country to run the records. But you're toying with the weather all the time too, as far as rain. But and the track conditions. So when we go testing, what we've got to do, we've got to test on a track that's close to the conditions to the one that we're going to race on. So obviously, if we can get onto Willowbank Raceway a week before, there is a rule in the rule book that says you're not allowed to test for, from the Monday on.
Yep.
And that's fair for everybody so that the guys with the big bucks can't book it out for 5 days and keep everybody off it. So, we'll test on, they call it the winter's warm-up. It's the weekend before, both rained out. But you go there and you're on very similar conditions. You're going to race on the next weekend, both with weather and with track conditions. So that is why we test, and that's why we like to test close to events.
Talking about the season so far, tell us, I might get you to explain for us how you'd sum it up, how it's been going.
Tough. It's tough. These cars are running so fast now. We went down, we had a meeting earlier on this year down in Sydney, and it's been a bit of over the last couple of years, one of the drag races made up of barriers, and one of the barriers was a 5-second run. 2 or 3 years ago, they broke that 5-second run. A few more cars keep leaking into the guys that have run the 5s. And what happened at a meeting there the other day, the whole field was 5. It was a full 5-second field. There was 2 guys that ran in the 5-second zone that didn't make the field. Now, that's getting tough. That's as tough or tougher than the United States doorslammer racing. So it is getting very tough. And we thought that was as bad as it was going to get. We go to the next event in Sydney. We do an event in Perth. We come back to an event in Sydney again. And not only did the field bump at 6.0, so it was nearly a full 5-second field again, the top 3 guys went 5.7 something.
Ooh.
So it's just crazy. I mean, that's alcohol funny car times. And when I started my racing career, the top fuelers were running 620s and 630s. Now doorslammers are running 570s. So crazy times. And this year will go down as the year that a lot of the races really got together, got their act together and started running in the 570 zone, 580, a lot of 580s and 570s. And the year that the bracket got really tough. I also think that it's come about by some componentry, some parts that have been available, some better parts now, magnetos, superchargers, a little bit more technology in heads and stuff. And one of the heads, the Noonan Engineering down at Yatla there, they've put a head on the market that suits our engines, and they're doing very well here and very well over in the United States with it. So, a bit of local technology and a bit of local knowledge and some new parts, and the guys just doing more and more laps, and it's really got tough.
So how's that then compare? When I first came across you, Vic, was back in, I reckon, around 99 at Calder Park, when at the time you did the world record speed back then, I think it was around 371 or so at that particular meet. How's those speeds matching up these days?
Well, they're pretty relative. They stay relative, and a lot of runs nowadays are over 400k.
Yep.
So they're running 250 plus mile an hour now in door slammers. And one of the big, I was racing when the barrier to break was 200 mile an hour. Well, now they're running 200 mile an hour in the 8th mile to half track, and they're putting the other 50 mile an hour in the top end. So. The mile an hour is going up faster and faster and faster. I mean, Peter Kapiris, one of the local guys that's absolutely flying at the moment, he went 257 mile an hour the other day. So he's nearly running 260 mile an hour, which is just unbelievable. And alcohol funny cars that run similar engine combinations to us, but they're about 400-pound lighter. Most of them struggle to go that fast. So the door slammer stuff and the competition level in top door slammer in Australia is so high that it's making the guys work real hard. They're throwing a few dollars in there to get all the right componentry. They're doing the test laps and they're getting it sorted out. And it's showing in the elapsed times and the mile an hour that's coming up.
I want to talk to you a bit more about that a little bit later on the show, Victor. But you're happy to hang around for a little bit. We've got to get through a bit today. You happy to sit in the hot seat for us?
Love to, mate. Love to.
You're listening to All Talk with Scott Rollinson on ABC Grandstand Digital and online.
We'll wrap up the International Rally of Queensland shortly, where the Asia Pacific Series met the Australian Rally Championship. But first, Victor, I'm not sure if you caught this, but cricketer Michael Clarke swapped straight drives for sideways driving, you might say. He was the promo guest, the crowd puller behind the wheel of a Lancer at the Rally of Queensland. I'll get your thoughts in just a sec on this move, but first let's hear from him.
I think I need some improvement, but yeah, look, I've always had a love for cars, like I say, and to have the opportunity to do this while I'm playing is a great insight to, I guess, to how hard rally driving is. And yeah, look, you never know what I'll do after I'm finished playing. As a kid growing up, always wanted a Ferrari. Yeah, that was the one car I did want to buy. I don't have one, no. I have a BMW.
What do you reckon, Victor? Is that a good move, chucking him in the car?
I'm not too sure. I mean, Clarkie's a great Australian, great cricketer. We all love him. He's a bit of a character as well. But, he's up there in the rally. All he's got to do is dodge trees. What I need to do is strap him to one of these door slammers, and he won't want a Ferrari after that. He'll want a door slammer.
The challenge is there. If he wants to drive, you'll whack him in a door slammer.
Well, I've got another car that I use for doing demonstrations, and the race car's got about 4,000 horsepower. This one's only got 2,500, so
ease him into it.
Yeah, we'll chuck him in there and see how he goes. He'd probably love it. Although, if I was going to get in a rally car and go for a roar around amongst all them trees as fast as those maddies do, I certainly wouldn't want a cricketer behind the wheel. I'd rather have a rally driver behind the wheel.
How would you go with if you swap places with him and put the baggy green on? Did you wield the willow all right back in?
Yeah, nowadays I used to be half all right. Probably not quite as good as those boys get, but I used to love cricket. It was a great game, and we used to play quite a bit of it in the early years. But like I say, motor racing took over, and I just, instead of selecting a sport that you only uses one ball, I select the one that you need two for.
It's not a bad way to put it, mate. Dave Reynolds, one man who lives up to that, from the V8 Supercars in shortly. But let's reflect on that rally meet up in Queensland, the Asia Pacific and the Australian Rally Championship. Here's a few of the winners. Chris Atkinson, winner of the Rally of Queensland. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thank you. It was an awesome weekend. Obviously, I really wanted to win this event. It's my home event. And we've led the last 2 years and had mechanical problems, so to come back with a new team and then and get a win is perfect.
Monkey off the back in Queensland. Like you say, it's been the bugbear of your calendar the last few years.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. If we won it last year, we had a good lead. If the car didn't stop last year, we would have won the title as well. So it's frustrating, but new season and we've kicked it off with 2 wins in a second. So perfect start to the year, and we've just got to keep it going.
The change of team is obviously working wonders at this point. The car's quick, you're winning rallies, and in terms of the championship, the points, you're looking fantastic at this part of the series.
Yeah, halfway through, and we've got a good lead. Like I said, we've scored well in every event, and you've got to keep doing that. There's only 6 events in this championship, and if you don't score in every one, you get in trouble and drop back pretty fast. So it's, like I said, a perfect start to the season. We're halfway through, we've got a good lead, and car, team, everything's working well, so I can't complain at the moment.
Michael Bowden, outright winner of the International Rally of Queensland in the Australian Rally Championship side of things. Mate, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. That's an achievement I've been trying to do for a while, quite a few years anyway.
The smile on your face sums it up, I think.
Yeah, mate, like it's starting to sink in now, especially now we've got to go and pull them apart, so it's definitely a plus. But, this is the worst part of the deal, but, you've got to prove that the car is legal, so that's the main thing.
Why was it this event that it all clicked?
Well, I really don't... We've been asked that question a fair bit over the weekend, and to be quite honest, I really got no answer. We've done nothing different. We've changed nothing in the car. We haven't tried to get more horsepower out of it, and it just sort of gelled and everything just worked right from where it go.
It's got to give you confidence into the next round then.
Yeah, for sure. Look, the car's... Everything I did over the weekend, wanted to point it into the corner anywhere I wanted to do it, done it, and I think that certainly gives you more confidence as well.
Neil Bates, winner of the Classic category at the International Rally of Queensland. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah, look, had an absolute ball, Obviously, for me, I've done this for a living for the last 20 years and, doing this just for fun and, I can assure you it's just an enormous amount of fun. So, had an absolute ball over the last couple of days. And, the car's also incredibly fast. Like, it's a 1980 model Toyota Sleeker, but I had a look at the results last night and we would have actually been third in the Asia Pacific yesterday.
Tell us about the car itself, Neil. For those listening, that they'll know the shape, they'll know what the shell looks like of an 80 Sleeker, but tell us what's inside this one.
That's a 1980 model RA40 Sleeker. It's got a 2-litre Series 1.3 SGE engine. It's got a 5-speed dog box. It's got a Hilux rear diff, and as I say, it's a very, very simple sort of car, but works incredibly well.
I've heard you become quite a bit of the online shopper.
Yeah, look, you talk about the cost of things, and I bought a new 4.8 limited slip diff. If people understand what that is, for $300. For the modern cars, they'd be $5,000 to $8,000. So there's some of the parts are incredibly cheap. I bought the car originally on eBay for $1,000. So it's a cost-effective and fun way to go rallying.
So what's the rest of the season, mate? Will we see this at the rest of the Oz Rally events over the next couple of months, really, I suppose?
Adelaide is next. We'll do all the rounds this year, and really looking forward to Adelaide. It's a couple of months away now, so we've got time to go back and tinker and see if we can get it a little bit better, but I'm not sure where. It's so good at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find something.
Scott Petter, CEO of the Australian Rally Championship, another one under the belt, another good round.
Yeah, look, terrific. The guys here at Queensland do a fantastic job, and obviously with some good support this year from Brakes Direct and continued support from the Queensland government, this event just really continues going from strength to strength, so it's great. Where
we've just walked after the podium presentation here, we're standing next to a few of the Asia Pacific cars. That's obviously a benefit to have them involved in this particular round of the series as well.
Oh, certainly. To have brands like MRF and Skoda and Proton and those sort of things, helps out all the sports, whole sport, the Asia Pacific, and through the ARC and locally as well. So it's all about building the whole profile of the whole sport. So it's great, and the S2000 cars are certainly great things to watch and sound great and do what rally cars should do.
Last time we spoke was ahead of Rally Call to the first round of the season. We're 3 in now. Has it shaped up 3 rounds the way you thought it would?
Yeah, I think so. It's obviously sports go up and down, and I think we're coming out of the trough and trying and finding some good manufacturer interest, and so very, very it's good. It's obviously the four-wheel drive competition is very strong, and the two-wheel drive is getting there. We just need to keep focusing on getting the manufacturers back interested in the sport, and sponsorship's very strong and the exposure's very strong. So I think that we're heading into a very strong period of the Bosch ARC.
Appreciate your time. A great round here in Queensland. Looking forward to the rest of the series.
No worries. Pleasure. Thanks.
This is All Talk Motor Racing Show with Scott Rollinson on ABC Grandstand Digital and online.
Wrapping up the International Rally of Queensland, we turn from the dirt to the tarmac and to V8 Supercars, where one of this bloke's colleagues actually was competing up there in a Polaris at the Rally of Queensland. Tim Slade was going around over the course of the weekend. He went all right too, I think. But let's talk V8 Supercars, and David Reynolds joins us from Ford Performance Racing. G'day, Dave.
Hey guys, how you going?
Good mate.
Would you ever do something like Slade did? He jumped in the hot seat of a Polaris and went all right. Apparently it ended up on its roof on the Saturday, but on the Sunday he was pretty quick.
I haven't heard. I'd probably do something like that maybe. He's coming to stay with me on Friday, so we're going to go watch his girlfriend in Miss Universe.
Any spare spots?
I just had to drop that in. So.
the life of a V8 Supercar driver, eh?
Yeah, it must be hard.
It's not my girlfriend, it's his. So.
Dave, let's talk about your season. I won't sum it up. I'll let you sum it up, but I'll let Victor do this before. How would you describe 2012 so far?
Myself, I've come into a brand new team. So it's a brand new team, brand new car. You know, I've got to relearn everything again because once you drive a different car, you know, nothing's the same. It's like being a totally different world for me.
It's a borrowed car, isn't it, though?
Well, yeah, it was on the at Phillip Island, and it was the fastest one of the lot.
That's it.
So,
Yeah.
so it's going to become my car.
I heard your comments on that. She's yours now.
Yeah, it's mine. I named it mine.
If it's quick, you claim it.
Yeah, I'm claiming it. Which was I started using Chaz Mostert's chassis, which he runs in the Dunlop series, which is the feeder category.
Yep.
His chassis was actually newer, so and it's a bit stiffer in that. So we can. I think it was quicker.
Hey, Dave, just while you're on that subject, I mean, a lot of the talk's obviously been about the car of the future. So you get out, you run Fords, you run Holdens. Can you definitely feel the difference in those two chassis? And do you think when the car of the future's in place, that all cars will be equal, like the chassis will all feel the same?
It's hard for me to comment. Going from Ford to Holden in the current spec, I can say there's a big difference. But I don't necessarily think it's Ford and Holden. I think it's just the way each team achieves their speed throughout each corner. As far as car of the future, you know, it's hard for me to say. I haven't driven one yet, where most of the people down pit lane have. But I dare say each team still will have their theories on how to get the most out of the car, which will be different throughout pit lane.
Did you walk under a ladder or see some black cats or something in the pre-season, Dave?
Talk to me about it.
That car has been quick, but geez, the luck is just... Will Davison had similar luck for the last few years. At least you'll be able to talk to him about it, I suppose.
I think mine's a lot worse.
When you have a run of bad luck, I think you're banking a lot of good luck, so get ready, it'll come along one day.
Well, that's what my engineer said. He said, you know, the probability, the more bad luck you have, the probability, you know, of more of good luck to come.
That's it.
Well, you might be the good luck charm because FPR this year, you've come in and they're top of the timesheets and won at every event basically right through so far. It must be a pretty good mood around the team to have come into, Dave. Yeah,
no, it's the best team I've been a part of. But I think it's my good sense of humour that's lifted everyone's spirit.
The Enduro's just around the corner. Dean Canto in the seat with you this year. That's obviously something on the radar with the speed that you've shown. You must be looking forward to getting into those ones.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to driving with Dean. I used to watch him growing up in go-karts and that, so now I get to drive with a person I sort of watched for a long time. And he's a really good driver. He did a few laps at Phillip Island on the Friday, and he ended up the quickest in one of the sessions. So, I'm really looking forward to the race, to Sandown and Bathurst. And particularly, like last year, my car was pretty good at Bathurst in the Kelly racing car, so I'm looking forward to get back there.
50 years at Bathurst this year, isn't it, Dave?
Apparently so.
50
I've only been around for half that time, though.
Yeah, but it'd be a nice one to win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic, yeah. And Ford haven't won it for a long time.
David Reynolds with you this week on All Talk. Appreciate your time. Best of luck for the rest of the year, and enjoy Miss Universe.
Give Tim a ring. You should talk to him about it.
He might have a different perspective on it to you, Dave.
Yeah, I don't think he likes talking about it, to be fair.
Good on you, mate. Talk soon.
Good luck in the race car, mate.
This is All Talk Motor Racing Show with Scott Rollinson on ABC Grandstand Digital and online.
Will Hagan in shortly with all that's happening in the international sphere of motorsport. Let's try that again. He'll have the wrap-up of Mark Webber's Monaco win and also the latest in terms of the MotoGP as well. A fourth-place finish for Casey Stoner at Catalunya. But Victor Bray has been in the co-host seat this week, and we better let you go, mate, because right now, actually, over the course of this weekend, is the big one, the Winter Nationals.
Yeah, they had today all day was qualifying for the Group 2, 3 and 4s, and tomorrow the big bangers hit the track. So, top fuel, top door slammer, pro stock. There's actually every field at the Winter Nationals this year is oversubscribed. There's like 10 or so top fuelers there. There's 28 pro stock cars trying to get into a 16-car field. There's 17 door slammers trying to get into an 8-car field. Oversubscribed in pro bike, top alcohol. it's just the professional racing tomorrow is going to be unbelievable. And everybody's fighting for the championship. So, there's some groups there where in some of the categories, there's only about 5 or 6 points in it. So the boys will be running pretty hot to try and get to the top of the field. There's extra points for top qualifying, extra points for low ET of the event, extra points for top mile an hour, and in 3 or 4 of the Group 1 brackets, that is going to make the difference.
What about Ben Victor? How is he likely to fare over the weekend?
Well, we got a bit of new gear in Ben's car, so we nearly never got to test it. So we're sort of going in there blind, making us all a bit nervous at the moment. Ben's actually running 2 categories on the weekend. He loves his door slammer, and he's won a couple of championships there. He loves his alcohol funny car. He won a championship over there, and now he's racing the 4 and 6 cylinder turbocharged, what we call Pro Extreme or Sports Compact, and he's running driving a car for another team this weekend, and he's second in the championship in that with a chance of winning. Actually won the championship last year, so Ben's doing double duties this weekend, as is 3 or 4 other races out there, so they will be very busy for the weekend. But he's been running really well lately. He's been running well in both categories, but in door slammer, he got runner-up to John Zappia, who's been just absolute, on fire the last few weeks. John Zappia, Robin Judd, and Peter Kapiris, they're the danger boys in door slammer. They're the guys that ran the 3.570s. Then there's a bunch of guys running 80s and heaps of guys running 90s. So, it's going to be tough out there, and Benny and me, we're trying to sort of make sure that we're in amongst it.
Victor Bray, pleasure having you in. Best of luck at the Winter Nationals. Joining us as co-host this morning on All Talk.
Welcome to Will's World.